Yeah.
They set a call and keep what you desire from your thoughts. Please direct our thoughts and following. How much be attentive and respectful of one another's needs and to work in the team. We ask that you grant us clarity of mind and lead us to hopeful solutions. In Jesus'
Kaya kita kaltasan si Sam kitang ikaw. Ikaw. Di 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 kain laki di 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 online as posted on our in our procurement activities schedule. Please take note of the following important dates for this procurement activity. Issuance / downloading of bidding documents, including buying / payment of downloaded bidding documents. April 15, 2026 May 5, 2026 until 10 a.m. Credit conference April 22, 2026. Oras. April 2026 at 4 p.m. Receipt by the back of bids. Deadline May 5, 2026 until 4 p.m. Opening of bids May 5, 2026 at 4 p.m. At 10 a.m. Sorry. 10 a.m. May 5.
So this is the comprising the B for technical and technical components for goods and services. So for eligible components, our code is the Philjips certificate of registration for the membership. Next is a statement of ongoing government and private contracts, and also include the statement of largest completed contract and the NFCC. And also reminder, so A number 1.09, section 20.2.9.2.d, prepare a bidder to update project certificate of registration and procurement membership to the current and updated supporting documents shall result in the automatic suspension of the bidder's certificate. And for SLCC, the bidder must have completed within 10 years from the submission of the bid, unless a shorter period is indicated in the invitation to bid. An SLCC that is similar to the procurement project to be bid and whose value must be at least 50% of the ABC. It may allow bidders to present a combination of contracts completed within the same period, provided that their total value is at least 50% of the ABC. For NFCC, the computation of a bidder's NFCC must be at least equal to the ABC to be bid, but calculated as follows. NFCC is equal to current assets minus current liabilities times 15 minus the value of outstanding and completed portions of the project's undergoing contracts, including active contracts yet to be started, coinciding with the procurement project. And the value of the domestic bidder's current assets and current liabilities shall be based on the latest AFS. For joint ventures provided that each member must be similar and related to the requirements of the project. Each member of the joint venture shall be jointly and severally liable to the procuring entity in case of breach or failure to comply with the requirements of the project. For the submission and receipt of bids, so a bid shall have two components, namely the technical and financial component, should be in separate 12 envelopes and which has been submitted simultaneously. The bids shall be received by the back on such date, time, and place specified in the invitation to bid. The first bid envelope should contain the following technical documents at the list. First, project certificate of registration at the membership. B, statement of our ongoing NFCC. D, NFCC computation or committed line of credit. E, joint venture agreement or the dwelling material statement if applicable. D, period. Letter G, technical specifications, which may include production or delivery schedule, manpower requirements, and process, service, or parts, if applicable. A, only some statement and are for foreign bidders claiming eligibility by reason of contract extension or reciprocal rights to Filipinos, a certification from the relevant government office of their country stating that Filipinos are allowed to participate in the government procurement activities for the same item or product. And for the second envelope, the second envelope shall contain the following financial documents. Letter A, bid form, which includes the bid price. B, price schedules. C, if applicable, certificate of domestic preference in accordance with the RTB class 25. RTB class 25 states that the procuring entity shall give priority and preference to quality products and services. The preference of the priority for Filipino will be guaranteed at the procurement process, including raw materials, ingredients, supplies, and fixtures. For modification of bids, please note, bidders may modify their bid before the deadline for the receipt of bids. In case of modification, bidders shall not be allowed to retrieve the original bid, but shall only be allowed to send another bid, equally sealed, properly identified, linked to the original bid and marked as modification and stamp received by the bank. For reverse of bids, bidders to a letter may reverse bids express their intention not to participate in the bidding before the deadline for the submission and receipt of bids. They shall no longer be allowed to submit another bid for the same contract either directly or indirectly. Withdrawal of bid after the deadline shall be subject to appropriate sanctions. For bid security, all bids shall be which shall serve as a guarantee that the bidder shall enter into a contract. So these are the forms of bid security. So that the bidder shall submit a bid security declaration at any an amount not less than the required percentage of the ABC in accordance with the following schedule. 2% for cash or cashier's or manager's check issued by a bank, 5% for the bank draft or guarantee or revocable issued by bank, and 5% for surety bond collateral upon demand issued by surety or insurance company. So that's all, Mr. Chair, for the checklist comprising the technical and financial component of the bid.
Submission, Mr. Chair, each bidder shall submit hard-bounded one original of the first and second component of each bid. Proper labeling of bid proposal is required. Incomplete attachment is a ground for outright disqualification. Thank you.
Thank you. B. B. One.
Mr. Chair, I move for the adjournment of this pre-bid conference for goods and services dated April 22, 2026.
I second the motion.